Chef Mark McKinney is here from the Healthy Living Kitchen with a Thanksgiving side dish where you can actually taste the vegetables.
I know, it's shocking, isn't it?
They're not doused in like soup and all
butter and fat and lots of salt.
Although we love that. We love that. But let's talk about how you're going to make this recipe a little bit more figure friendly.
Sure. So we're doing green bean casserole, but it's certainly been modified to be a little bit healthier. So one thing that I think is cool about this is gluten-free. And if you don't want to do gluten-free, you can just modify this recipe. We're using a gluten-free flour. You could just use regular flour if you wanted to. And you could still do the same recipe using a standard flour. So really simple. We're going to do a couple of things. I've got a saute pan here preheated. I have some baby portobello mushrooms.
A little bit of olive oil.
Start with a little olive oil. We'll put the mushrooms in. And these will sear for a few minutes. I've already kind of pre-cooked them a little bit. The thing I think people get, they don't have a lot of patience with mushrooms. If you're going to saute mushrooms, you need to let them sit in the pan for a little while. It takes them a while to get that nice caramelization and develop flavors and things like that. So you would want to saute these for 4 or 5 minutes until they get nice and brown.
Okay.
Once they start getting some brown on them, we'll add our garlic. And we'll sweat the garlic in with the mushrooms for a few minutes.
That smells great.
Yeah, garlic is like the cure-all.
I love
It
garlic.
just makes everything smell good. So here we have fresh green beans that we've lightly blanched, so they're partially cooked.
So about how long do you boil them?
About 4 minutes.
Okay.
You could certainly buy the frozen ones, and they're already par-cooked. You would just want to thaw them out and rinse them off real good and kind of pat them dry, and then you could skip that whole blanching process.
Okay.
So the green beans go in. We're not really cooking these very long. We're just kind of mixing everything together. Now, we want to flavor with fresh herbs and healthy things, so we have fresh basil that goes in.
Always a good choice.
We have some fresh thyme, and you could use dried thyme. You could use dried basil, but I'm very big on the belief that dried herbs don't taste anything like fresh herbs, but thyme is one of the closer ones that if I'm going to
that's one you could
use a dried, I would, because the flavor profiles are similar. I don't think dried basil tastes anything like fresh basil.
No, it does not.
But, you know, to each his own. So, those cook up a little bit, season real quick, salt, pepper, and then we're going to go ahead and put this in our casserole dish. And we're going to pour our bechamel sauce, or as I call it in East Tennessee, our biscuit gravy.
Okay, what's in the bechamel sauce?
Well, this is the gluten-free part. So it's skim milk, salt, white pepper, and then instead of using butter, I use a little bit of olive oil to make my roux. And instead of using traditional flour, I use this all-purpose gluten-free flour, which is made by Gren. And this is available at Food City, who sponsors this. They have a great line of stuff like that. And it's mostly rice flour and tapioca flour.
So the point of the sauce is to add that little bit of creaminess without just dousing it in, in fat.
We pour the sauce on top, and you could mix it if you wanted to, but I kind of like to have different flavors and different things going on. And then the topping is pretty cool too. This is pumpkin seeds, quinoa, and a little bit of olive oil.
Do you saute that? You cook the quinoa?
You cook the quinoa, you just mix the pumpkin seeds in with it, you mix it in with a little bit of olive oil. This goes on top, and then you bake it in the oven for about 20 minutes.
That really looks yummy. You could use that topping on a lot of different things, huh? Asparagus or...
Absolutely. And then when it comes out, it kind of looks a whole lot like that one. It's just cooked a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's it.
How long did you leave that in the oven?
About 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes. So that'll cook your green beans up a little bit
Right. It'll get everything hot. It'll brown the topping a little bit, and then you just serve it.
Oh.
And it's that easy.
That looks really good, Chef. Good job. And you also always like to tell us a little bit about your cookbook that's available.
A Recipe for Life. It's our cookbook that we published a couple of years ago through the Healthy Living Kitchen at UT Medical Center. It's available in paperback in the gift shop. It's also available online as an e-reader. And as always, we do grocery store tours with Food City and kind of do a choose this, not that kind of a thing. We do corporate wellness. We do classes at the medical center. You can log on to utmedicalcenter.org to find out more about that. And if anybody needs any kind of a wellness initiative or something like that going on, please contact us. We'd love to come out and help you out a little bit.
We're down to about 15 seconds. A couple of, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
A couple quick substitutions you can make over the next 6 weeks during the holidays that maybe help save a little bit of weight gain.
Go for colored vegetables first. So if you're going to a party and there's lots of food out, load up on the veggies first. That's always a pretty easy one. Eat a little bit before you go so you're not too hungry when you get there.
Good idea.
If you're drinking, have a drink and then a glass of water and kind of go back and forth to help keep you hydrated and minimize the alcohol intake.
Chef McKinney, thanks so